Hello, everybody! It is your great friend, Virtuous Volt Tackle Pikachu, back at it again with another Pokemon Reborn episode 261. Can you believe we've made it all this way, Sean?
I really can't.
Oh, and just because I neglected to mention, we are joined, as always, by Loopysaurus, Sean. Say hello.
I forget about this gag every time. Hello, it's me. I'm the guest.
Mm-hmm. This channel does belong to me by birthright, so... hey guys, it is Josh Rhed, because I know Sean's not going to say it, so I have to stop the gag for a little moment just to get it out there, make sure you know who I am. But I know that in your hearts, you all know me. You treasure me, you cherish me. You're so glad I'm back, and you needed me because we've got a doozy coming up, don't we?
We do have a real doozy coming up. So I gave Josh Rhed a heads up of what we're doing here. We got this gem matching puzzle with 6 categories.
Mm-hmm.
Foliation, luster, habit. It's all here. It's all happening. It's all happening. All right.
Force of habit.
Are you ready for this, Josh?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I love a good puzzle. I'm a big fan of Professor Layton of the Ace Attorney series. I've done a couple of Neopets neg puzzles in my time.
Is that a similar kind of matching puzzle?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh.
It's nothing like this. These were, however, my favorite activities in elementary school. When the teachers would like tire of having like an actual activity and they would just pass out worksheets that were like logic puzzles, figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And go so hard on those.
Yeah, I remember doing them in elementary school too. It's like a weird thing that they taught us how to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I gave Josh Rhed a heads up of what we're doing here. So we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Do you want to voice Radimus?
Sure.
He's kind of like an older guy. He talks a little weird.
Well.
Okay, he's not that old. He's not that old. He's old. He's like anime old. So he's like 30.
that is not what I would consider old.
All right, 40. He's 40.
Mm. I like how instead of changing your definition of old, you changed what his perceived age was.
he talks like kind of fantastical. He's like kind of a magician sort of guy. I don't know.
Well. This is quite a mess, isn't it? That lad dropped me off here and went to search for the way forward, and here we are. I feel that I can safely assume you've had some experience with these contraptions by now, and I believe I have a solid enough understanding of it. Shall we get right to it? But I will say that, my god, looking at this data, whoever designed this surely had either a veritable sadistic streak or a very good sense of humor. I suspect we shall never find out which.
Let's do it. So we need to see clues.
Mm-hmm. Very well. This will be a mite complicated.
All right, now I need to read all this in his voice. No, not really. Oh my god.
No two crystals share any same quality.
Oh, this was my fear. Oh, this is what I was afraid of. That there's so many like instructions that it's not even like gonna fit on one screenshot.
It's not even on one page. No easy screenshot for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me go ahead and take my 2 screenshots here. I have a plan. So we are gonna use a chart again, just like last time.
Right.
So let me get this screenshot here so I can share it with Josh Rhed. So the type of chart we're going to use is similar to the one we used last time, but in the Discord there was some discussion about like the different types of charts you can use to solve these logic puzzles. And there's kind of like a more complicated one you can do where it looks more like a matrix. It's got like kind of 2 dimensions on it. And my understanding is that like you can use those, and like if you use them correctly, then like they essentially solve the puzzle for you. That's like my basic understanding of like those more complicated looking matrices.
Right. But we're so smart that we don't need that.
And also it would just be more work and making it fit on screen.
I am Rodimus.
Yeah, Radimus wouldn't want us to do that. Alright, there's our 2 screenshots.
You have an interesting dilemma on your hands already. because this last puzzle that you completed, there was a very easy clue that came key to cracking down the rest of the puzzle that told you exactly where Amethyst was, correct?
I think so,
In
yeah.
one of the positions. No such clue exists for this.
Oh, shit.
Most inefficient data system in all of history. They surely would have won it.
Okay.
I love starting sentences
Halfway through.
in media res.
Now watch as I switch the scenes. Oh, it didn't load. There it is. Okay. I have to reshare my screen now so Josh Rhed can see what I prepared here.
Yes, okay, I see it. I
Yeah,
see it.
yeah. So like in practice, we're probably not actually gonna do anything in the actual game. We're just gonna play in our little chart here. Oh, it did cut off my thing here. I wonder why. In OBS, I mean. Okay, that fixed it. That seemed to fix it. Okay. All right. Shall we start with our first clue?
So no two crystals share any same quality.
Okay, that checks out.
That is just saying that you can't have ruby and sapphire both as like small, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
So we're not gonna have anything like this.
cool. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. The habit of the second hardest gem is less than the habit of the pure gem, which is less than the habit of the emerald. So we can already tell that the emerald is either tabular or coxcomb.
Interesting. Habit of the second hardest gem is less than the habit. All right, hold on. You're gonna have to wait up for me here. I think you're right though. The habit of the second hardest gem is less than the habit of the pure gem, which is less than the habit of emerald. So yeah, you're right. So that means we can do. We can come down here. We can cross out cubic and hexagonal for emerald. I think there's more data there too, because we can say that emerald is not the second hardest gem.
Very true. We can also say that it is not the pure gem.
We're popping off.
Okay, clue 3. The purity of the vitreous gem is less than the purity of emerald, which is less than the purity of the pearly gem. So emerald is either actually, that's a really good clue. Vitreous clue is less than the purity of emerald. So emerald has to be middling.
Is that true? Let's see. Oh, because we already crossed out pure.
Yeah, because emerald's in the middle of that clue. So emerald is more pure than the vitreous gem, but less pure than the pearly gem.
Well, hold on. The pearly gem could be pure.
Well, sure, but that would still leave no other place for emerald to go. Because emerald can't be pure, right?
Yeah.
So emerald either has to be impure or middling, but we know that emerald is more pure than the vitreous gem, and since no two crystals share any same quality, that means emerald has to be middling.
Okay. So there actually is more data there as well for emerald, right?
Yes, it's not the vitreous gem,
That's right.
and it is not the pearly gem.
Okay. That was kind of talking about the luster of the gems. Purity of the vitreous gem is less than the purity of emerald, which is less than the purity of the pearly gem, which is less than the purity.
Yeah, there is still more information there, but there's not a ton, if I'm correct, that we can do with that.
That's right,
at
yeah.
this moment.
I'm just kind of looking over it. Okay, we can move on to number 4 if you're ready.
The luster of the minuscule gem is less than the luster of the medium gem, which is less than the luster of the hexagonal gem.
I don't think we can do anything with that right now, right? We have to come back to that later.
No, that's a referential clue.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had anything that ties to size, period, and we don't have any info about hexagonal except that it's not emerald. So cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can definitely see the appeal of the larger like matrix graph now, because this is like that chart. It kind of puts together the different traits, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but anyway.
I mean, they're like, it gives us information, but it is information that we will be referencing later.
Yeah.
So the hardness of the small gem is less than the hardness of the amethyst, which is less than the hardness of the pure gem.
I just realized every single hint is in this kind of layout, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we know amethyst, let's see, which is less than the hardness of the pure gem. So amethyst, it cannot be the hardest or the least hard, right?
Mm-hmm. Amethyst also. Okay, so we have another clue here because we know that emerald isn't pure. So we know that emerald would not be.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Amethyst is less than the hardness of the pure gem. Interesting. Okay, that doesn't. Never mind. That is information, but not information that is immediately
Yeah.
applicable.
But we can say that amethyst is not small,
Yeah. Yes.
which is less than the hardness of the pure gem. We can also say that
Well, yeah,
it's,
amethyst is not pure as well. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. We are narrowing things down here.
Um, the middling purity gem has luster that is less than the luster of the medium gem.
Okay, we actually know the middling purity gem
So emerald,
is
it has luster less than the luster of the medium gem. So emerald would have to be silky.
I don't know if that's true.
What do you mean?
It's like because the middling
Okay,
purity gems.
look at the clue. The middling purities gem. The middling purity gem is emerald. Yes.
Yeah,
Is less than the luster of the medium gem.
but the medium
Look
gem.
at the two places.
Could the
that we
medium
can
gem
put-
be vitreous or pearly?
It could.
Yeah.
The medium gem could also be adamantine.
Oh, okay.
But there's only one place that emerald can go where it is less than
You're
something
right.
else. Cool.
All right. Anything else there we can use?
Uh,
Well, I guess we know emerald is not medium in that case, right?
that is also true. Emerald is not medium. So, number 7, and we will work back through these again once we've done them for the first time.
We'll have to.
Yeah. The foliation of the pearly gem is less than the foliation of the vitreous gem, which is less than the foliation of the silky gem. So that does help because we do know what the silky gem is. It's emerald. So emerald is either perfect or imminent, or eminent. So it cannot be difficult or indistinct.
And then we can also use that to say that emerald is not the pearly gem, right?
We already know this. Yes.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's actually not super helpful.
Yeah.
Right?
That the rest of that doesn't tell us anything.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't not tell us anything. It just doesn't. About emerald, it doesn't tell us anything. So here's another one that we can apply. The habit of the silky gem is less than the habit of the most pure gem. So emerald has to be tabular.
Wow. I'm surprised they actually give you like this much. Like, if you're looking at it carefully enough, you can get this much information on your first read through.
Very simple, yeah.
Is less than the habit of the most pure gem. We also know that means. it's
So
not
we know that
pure
the
gem,
most pure
but-
gem is the flawless gem is also coxcomb.
Oh yeah. Well, wait. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know what that is yet, but we know those two are linked.
Well, hold on. The habit
Okay.
of the silky gem is less than the habit of the most pure gem. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Number 9. The size of the impure gem is less than the size of the perfect foliation gem, which is less than the size of the sapphire. So the sapphire has to be medium or large.
That's right.
And that also means that the sapphire cannot be perfect or impure.
Perfect or impure.
Yep.
Less than the size of perfect foliation gem, which is less than the size of the sapphire. Alright. And then finally.
Last but not least,
Yeah.
the foliation of amethyst is less than the foliation of the second hardest gem, which is less than the foliation of the sapphire. So that gives us a lot of information.
It does,
For
yeah.
one, we know that amethyst is a hardness of 6 now. Because the second hardest gem is not amethyst, according to this rule.
The foliation of amethyst is less than the foliation of the second hardest gem. You're right.
Yeah. And
Which
we
is
know that as far as foliation goes, we know that sapphire is higher than amethyst, and there is something in between there. That doesn't necessarily allow us to cross anything out right this moment.
We can say that if amethyst is not the highest foliation, right?
Yes, that is true.
Which is less than the foliation, and then the sapphire is not the lowest.
Wait, sapphire has to be eminent then.
Wait, hold on.
Because it can't be perfect, and it has to be greater than 2 things. So it has to be eminent.
You're right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that leaves, we have a matchup with Emerald and Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so now that we know a couple of things now. First of all, I can come back here.
Emerald has to be small.
Wait, how do you... Oh, small. How do we get that?
Because if you look back at number 9, I'm going a little out of order, but this
That's
is
all right.
fresh on the brain.
Yeah.
The size of the impure gem is less than the size of the perfect foliation gem, which is less than the sapphire. And there's only one place that emerald can be where it is higher than 1 and lower than 1. So it is small.
The perfect foliation. Okay, that's because we just decided that Emerald is perfect foliation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So the size of the impure gem is less than the size. Okay. That's the only place where I can be between 2 things. You're right, because we crossed out medium. Okay. We know everything about Emerald, almost.
Cool. So let's cycle back through.
Oh boy. Oh wait, can I just take another look at this real quick and make sure we don't have
Sure.
anything? Let's see, I'm just looking at our chart here. Looking at this chart for too long, it stops looking like a chart.
It looks like a chart.
Of all things, you know what this reminds me of?
What?
Do you remember, like, back in 2015 when I was streaming Hyrule Warriors? At the bottom of the screen, I would always have
man.
I would have a chart
Yeah.
that I made in Google Slides, I think in Google
Uh-huh.
Slides or Google Charts of, like, the adventure map and how much progress I had
Yep.
made.
Yep. I remember this now.
It's a funny throwback. All right, anyway.
Real Loopysaurus fans remember.
Those stream archives are uploaded on Loopysaurus too. I was checking them out earlier.
You can go hear me debate Sean in a variety of topics.
More on that later. We can't afford to get carried away with that
No,
right
we
now.
can't. We can't get caught off guard right now. We can't get distracted.
Yeah, we gotta stay focused.
So we know what Habit Emerald is. Do we know what the pure gem is? We do not know what the pure gem is.
Yeah, we're looking back at
We
number 2
don't
now.
know what the second hardest gem is. So that one is not the most helpful.
Right. Because we don't know second hardest gem, and we don't know the pure gem.
Mhm.
Let's see, second
Okay,
hardest.
number
Also,
3 also. doesn't-
well, actually, I think we have some data there because the second hardest gem can only be ruby or sapphire,
Yeah.
and then the pure gem can also only be ruby or sapphire.
Right. So it's got to be one of the two. It's just we can't decide which is which right now.
Yeah, but since we know that emerald, like I think what I'm getting at is I think we can do this, right? Because we know amethyst can't
Oh,
be these
sure.
two.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
And
Which
that-
means that amethyst is the coxcomb, which
Yeah.
also means that amethyst is flawless.
That's right, I remember that. And that means sapphire is pure,
Yep.
and that means that ruby is impure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, going back
So
to
that
number
means
2,
that-
yeah.
Yeah, back to number 2. So the pure gem, sapphire, would be hexagonal, I believe. Yeah. Which would make ruby cubic.
Okay.
Sick.
All right, back to number 3.
This one is mostly talking about purity, so let's link up what we know now that we know. So the purity of the vitreous gem is less than that of emerald, so that means
Okay, so that means
Ruby would be vitreous.
ruby is vitreous. Yeah.
Yeah. And the pearly gem has to be one that is higher than emerald. So it's that doesn't narrow it down further.
Yeah. Let me look at the rest. Number 3, less than the purity of emerald, less than the purity of the pearly gem. Okay, we don't know the pearly gem yet.
Yep.
Okay.
The luster of the minuscule gem, which is either ruby or amethyst, is less than that of the medium gem. This could be a lot of things. And less than the luster of the hexagonal gem. So, sapphire.
I actually don't know if that tells us anything. It just means that sapphire has to be one of the top 2, and we already knew that.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily narrow down the minuscule or the medium either. So, I mean, it narrows it down slightly, but doesn't give you a ton of options. So, medium has to be ruby or sapphire.
They can't be amethyst?
I don't believe so, because if we look at this, the medium gem is less than that of the hexagonal gem in the luster, but it's also greater than the minuscule gem. So the minuscule gem is emerald, so it can't be that.
Well, wait, hold on, wait, can you repeat that?
I think I'm talking myself in a circle. Hold on.
Because the minuscule gem we don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know the minuscule gem.
Maybe you said middling and not minuscule.
No, I think I spoke incorrectly.
Okay.
We don't know the minuscule gem, but we know that the medium gem has to be, like, its luster has to be more so than the minuscule gem. So the minuscule is either emerald, ruby, or it's not emerald, obviously. It's ruby or amethyst. And then the medium gem has to be something less than the hexagonal gem, which is sapphire. So it has to be ruby or amethyst.
So you mean medium?
Yeah, medium has to be ruby or amethyst.
Okay. And that means sapphire has to be large, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think are we ready to do anything else from there? The luster of the minuscule gem.
I think we might be. Let's look at luster and size again.
The luster of the minuscule gem is less than the luster of the medium gem.
So medium has to be well, we already know it's ruby or amethyst, but
which is less than the luster of the hexagonal gem. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're actually able to do
on.
anything. Yeah, I don't think we're able to do anything else in number 4 right now.
The hardness of the small gem, emerald, is less than the hardness of amethyst. So we know that emerald has to be a 5 then.
Yeah.
Because amethyst is 6. And it has to be lower than 6. And amethyst is less than the hardness of the pure gem. So that doesn't necessarily give us more information there.
Yeah, we just know it's between ruby and sapphire.
Only 2 options to begin with, yeah. The middling purities gem's luster is less than the luster of the medium gem.
The middling purity gem is emerald. And the
yeah,
luster
the middling gem is emerald.
Oh, we already know it's less than everything. It's less than the luster of the medium gem. Okay, I don't know if that one's helpful.
So the medium gem is sapphire or amethyst. So it has to be amethyst.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would make that, and ruby would be minuscule. Which means that the luster of ruby is less than the luster of the medium gem, which is amethyst, which is less than that of the hexagonal gem, which is sapphire. So amethyst would be pearly, sapphire would be adamantine. Cool.
We're almost done.
Okay, foliation and hardness. Let's go to number 7 because that deals with foliation. The foliation of the pearly gem, which is amethyst, is less than the foliation of the vitreous gem, which is ruby. So amethyst is less than, yeah, easy. No, wait. No, amethyst is less than ruby.
Oh, is that what it said? Okay.
Yeah, because amethyst is pearly, so it's less than the vitreous, which is ruby. Okay, now we need to go and find hardness.
Yeah.
So the hardness of the small gem is less than the... Okay, we know that. So it seems to me that the small gem, which is emerald, is that... Fuck. We know amethyst, and we know the pure gem.
The hardness of the smaller gem
No,
is
we
less than the
can't.
hardness of the amethyst. Which is less than the hardness. Right, I'm looking at number 5, which is still not that helpful.
We need to look at number 10.
Yeah.
The foliation of amethyst, which is indistinct, is less than the foliation of the second hardest gem.
That's also not that helpful, right? Because it's at the bottom.
No, it is. It's very helpful, actually. Because the second hardest gem is less than the foliation of sapphire, which means that the second hardest gem cannot be sapphire.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Well, oh, we
So the
actually missed
second
that before.
Yeah, 7 has to be ruby, and 8 has to be sapphire.
Is that it?
Let's give it a look.
All right, let me reposition my paint here. If this is right on our first try, which I suspect it is, because I don't see where we could have made any obvious mistakes. If this is right, I think we just set a world record for like solving this.
I mean, that wasn't that difficult.
I guess if you had the bigger chart, then maybe would have made it faster. But
Right.
anyway,
It's just logic, Sean. If we're wrong, I'm gonna look like it's a total hack.
that's why I'm waiting to say anything, because I'm like, holy shit, is this actually correct?
What will your move be?
Check solution.
Shall we try? Very well.
Oh my god.
And there it is.
I'm so impressed. You're actually a whiz at these. I don't know if you realize that.
I told you, I really loved these back in elementary school.
That was wild. You popped off big time.
Impressive as always. Oh, thank you, Radimus. I will fetch Hardy from wherever he's gotten to exploring, and we'll go on ahead.
Wow.
I saw him say, and I was like, oh no, did we mess up somewhere? And it just looked like it was a solution.
Me too. Hey, I had the same thought. Well, I mean, we can explore the rest of this room real quick. I noticed I was running around off screen and I realized I could run up here.
Yeah, that is interesting. Now you can get that little item up there.
Yeah. I guess I can tell you about the ghosts now.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the ghosts. I've seen you ooh, ghost right there.
That's true.
I was really critical of your decision to fight a guy who said you should use your favorite Pokemon, and you didn't bring Deedlewoop, so of course you had a hard time.
True. That guy was so annoying.
Speaking of, actually, you want to take a look at your party for me?
Next time on Pokemon Reborn, we will continue in Victory Road.